Good morning, everybody. Um, my lighting is messed up. We're gonna have to fix that real quick. Sorry about the delay. I'm not gonna edit it or do none of that stuff. All right. Let's get this better. Sorry about the delay, folks. All right. I'm on a shoestring budget, but I'm not all technical and all that, but I'll give you some good stories. As you see in the title, I got sensitive eye twitches. I gotta put these down. So, this guy robbed $250,000 from his parents. This guy was a degenerate gambler, and it all started out when I was in an office selling steel, and the owner was booking and taking sports bets and everything, and he was running a legitimate steel brokerage, and for a while I was in there trying to sell steel, running errands and everything, and this and that, and I'd get collect calls from a federal penitentiary in I believe it was Texas or somewhere. And my boss would say, "Yeah, take them." They'd ring on my phone, and my boss's office was like, they were little small offices that were adjoined, and he'd say, "Yeah," and then I would connect him to the other phone, and so what happened was this guy, Robert K. I won't believe he's passed away. I won't say his last name, but he wasn't Italian. I just want to get that straight. But eventually he gets paroled, and he comes back to New York, where he was from, Western New York, and my boss has got a legitimate steel brokerage, and he's gonna do his work release in this office, and I had to pick him up at the airport when he came in, and the minute he got in the car, all he did was lie, and I want to just say, listen, but I just went along with it and everything. I want no problems or anything. And so he's telling me how he dated, I guess that movie or that series was called Friends way back when. And he was like, "Yeah, Jennifer, I know I'm dating Jennifer Aston and all this." And I was like, this guy's a compulsive liar. And what he did, why he did his time, was he was betting football, and he was a psycho con man, and his parents were wealthy, but they weren't that wealthy. They had their life savings of about $270,000. He bet $250,000 on a certain Super Bowl with a bookie that I knew, but he was in a different geographical area, and he lost the bet, and that's why he had gone to federal prison and everything, and then he had gotten out, and while he was in prison, he was conning this other family, Italian family, that was running rackets. He was portraying that in prison he learned how to be a stock market guru and everything else. And this guy was good. To con one of them guys, you got to be good. But a lot of these crime family guys, they're greedy for money, and if you got a way to make money, and the stock market could be a legitimate way, so they fell for it. And he was coming into the office on work release, and he wasn't doing anything. And the guy that gave him the money, we'll call him Tony M. And the guy that gave him the money was a shrewd guy. I'll get to that later. But and he ends up dating this gangster's, this Tony's daughter. I'm going, wow, is there anything left sacred? How would this guy let this guy date? But they were both trying to con each other, this Robert K. and this. So Robert gets Tony to put up all this money to put in the stock market. So in the meantime, he's dating his daughter, and he's lavishing, he's spending. I was taking him to the malls, and he spent. I'm going, what are you doing? You just got out of prison? How are you? What? Well, her father's investing some money, and I says, well, you're blowing it all on diamonds and furs. You're trying to act like a rock star. You're broke on work release, on parole, and you're going to have to account for this money. And the daughter should be, you're thinking the same way, that her father's going to be pissed off because he's rifling through this money and he didn't spend it all. So I got to make this long story short. So he ends up taking some of the money, and so he blew some of it. But they had the money. I found out, I put two and two together. But in the other office, my boss's office, there was a big cork board that leaned, and there was a kind of safe kind of contraption back there, and that they had the cold cash sitting in that office, and it was just sitting there, unbeknownst to me. And they I thought my boss had a little more scruples than to, I really don't know if he was in on the scheme but it's complicated. It's in my book titled They Dead Missed. I'm not trying to sell no books, but it's too long to explain here. Maybe. Well, so anyways, this Robert K. disappears for a while, and the girls, the daughter, she never comes around, but this Tony M comes around, and he comes. I'm in an office complex. That's how crazy this guy is. And I'm sitting at my desk trying to sell steel, which barely I ever did. And it's a complex, and there's all little cubby hole offices and everything. And I hear a motorcycle. I'm going, what the heck? It sounds like it's in the building. It comes down the hall, and he pulls right in. He pulls right into my office, and he's got a mask on. He looks like Darth Vader, and he pulls a gun out, and I'm like, so I stand up, and I get into this corner. I'm ready to faint or have a heart attack or both. And he's going, where the hell is he? Where's Robert? Where's Robert? I said, I don't know. I don't know. I didn't get along with him, and I knew something was fishy. Well, he's gone, and the money's gone. And I'm thinking that money might still be in that back office, but I don't want to say anything. There was a door to it, but it was locked. And I was thinking, man. So I said, all I do is try to sell steel. I run some errands because he knew it was a bookmaking operation going on. And that's all I know. I'm here making $200 a week, and I'm trying to make some extra money running errands for the payouts of the bookie and everything like that. So he put his gun back, and he said, "All right, well, calm down." And he says, "I'm coming back tomorrow." And he goes, "Where's Mike, the guy that owns the business?" I said, "I don't know. He hasn't been coming in for a while and whatnot." So he left me there to face the music, and I don't know anything that's going on. Robert K's missing. My boss, Mike F, Mike S, he ain't even coming around. It's just like, what do these two clowns do? They con this guy out of, I think it was over $200,000 that he was trying to turn into, he turned bad money into good money. And I says, holy cow, how can this happen? So I got pissed off over it, that they left me to face the wolves. And I was thinking, well, I was running some errands for this crime family in Niagara Falls, and I better go up there and tell them what's going on over here in this office, because they're in a gambling ring. My boss and the Niagara Falls are in a gambling ring, bookmaking ring, and he's bringing this element into the office where this Robert K does his work release at our office, and bringing all this trouble in our office from another freaking crime boss. And it's like, what are these people thinking of? What are they thinking of? So they had to so Niagara Falls put the heat on this guy, my boss from the office. They put the heat on him and said, don't put JoJo in the middle of something. What are you doing over there? You're going to ruin this whole freaking crime. This is a whole gambling ring by bringing this guy from a federal prison in there, in which the agents, the FBI agents would come in looking for him to make sure he's doing his work release. And that's another story. And it was like, you're bringing all this heat. Why would Mike S, my boss, bring this in? Well, maybe he just knew the con was on, that he was going to bring this Robert K in and then just con this other Tony M out of all this money, and then he leaves me to face the wolves. So I went to Niagara Falls and told them, and then they straightened Mike S out. And Robert K ended up missing, and I guess they found his car in the desert somewhere or whatever. It's what I heard. That's what I heard. Secondary information, but it was just a crazy period of time, and I was just like, this is completely nuts. And Tony M, the boss of another family, we ended up having coffee, and we were explaining everything, and we got to be on a more friendly relationship. And I said, no disrespect, sir, but how could you be so stupid I mean, this guy gets out of prison for robbing $250,000 from his parents, and then he sells you a scheme that he could make money in the stock market, and he blew $250,000 on that. Or I don't know if they recovered what. I mean, there's different stories, and I put some of it in the book, but and then Mike S., he never came back to the office. And when I got everything straightened out, and I got to be friendly with Tony M., and I said, well, why would you have your daughter dating this Robert K? Why would you have your daughter? And you see, he was showering her with gifts, all this jewelry and stuff, and you would know that was the money you gave him to invest in the stock market. And he was like, oh, well, I knew he might just spend some of that, and then we could do some good business after that and turn it into some good investments and everything. And I was like, wow. You couldn't think up another plan than to trust this guy who robbed his parents. The character of the guy, the character of the guy you're dealing with, robbed his own parents' life savings. And he blew the money, and he probably blew it to Tony M. And that's why Tony M said, well, I got the money. This clown's getting out of prison, and I'll just have him invested in some things. But he got fooled. He got fooled. Greed. He got fooled. And I got really pissed off at my boss, Mike S., because he wasn't coming into the office, and this Tony M is a psycho, crazy. But I ended up being on a friendly thing. We ended up going for coffee, explaining things, and I got it ironed out. I was like, I'm just in here running errands for this crime family in the Falls in New York, and then I'm trying to sell steel here. I'm not in on any plot to rob your money. That's between Mike S. and Robert K. And I mean, and I was just thinking, I wanted to throw a story in here. Forgive the glasses, but I got sensitive eyes for the light, and the light is bad all the time. So, I'll elaborate more on some of those stories about what happened in that incident, and how Niagara Falls family dealt with my office boss, Mike S. It's a real interesting story. So maybe I'll do that tomorrow or the next day if I don't forget. I promise the stories, but I'm just starting out on here. I don't even have an introduction. I don't know how to do any of that, but maybe I can just get through it. Whoever watches these things, I appreciate your support. And they're not going to all be gangster stories, but got some interesting stories. And I'll part two this story on what happens. There's still some more things and stuff that happened thereafter, and I'll share those with you. And we're just starting out. I'm stuck on 16 subscribers, but that's all right. Well, no matter what, I enjoy doing them anyways. So that's it for today. Thank you for watching. I appreciate those of you that happenstance upon my videos and try to support the channel. And I'm supposed to say, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and comment. Well, I like doing this. I want to build my channel, but it's like, I got to beg to get to the subscriber. Well, that's all right. Maybe down the road we'll get that accomplished. But I appreciate whoever takes the time out to watch these nonetheless. So be the kings and queens of your world. Be safe. And God bless. I'll talk to you soon. Finish up this story. Bye.